Oops. Hello people, so I hope you're all having a good evening, enjoying the lovely warm weather. I'm myself having just a walk around here doing a bit of picking. Just had some raw runner beans that I just freshly picked, so absolutely lovely they are. Just basically enjoying this lovely warm weather, because before we know it the winter will be here. So very intriguing stuff really, and having a look around, the squashes are getting, you know, a good size here, I think so. However, I have actually mixed up the squash varieties, so I'm very sorry about that. One of my viewers politely commented that they didn't think one variety I said was indeed that, and I think that is indeed the case, so I probably mixed the tags up somehow, but never mind, that will add to the surprise, won't it? So pick some broad beans from here, and I'm going to pick some kale tomorrow and have that for dinner. So there we go. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy really with how, you know, how it's all coming on here. I mean, you know, even though we've not had that much rain, the runner beans are not doing too bad really, and I've actually not watered not watered these too much. Now, I really have indeed gone for the rustic garden look this year, partly deliberately, part not. As you can see here, look, I've in fact got, you know, cucumber plants growing up my own grafted tree here. I grafted this apple tree myself a few years ago. So I do encourage people to learn about grafting if it floats their boat. Made the graft sort of down there. See if I could show you here, but this is there you go, just try to move it so you could see, but there it is. See, that was the cleft graft I did, and I did that myself. Tree sort of going over this direction. In the winter I'm probably going to stake it and attempt to straighten it up. I'm really loving this rose. It's just come again really prolifically. It really likes it in this pot. It's just, you know, I'm really grateful really for this, considering you know, someone gave this to me. It was going to be sort of condemned, if you will, to the places where roses go. But yeah, look at that, it's looking beautiful. So yeah, as I look at these squashes, the sort of you know, just the, you know, I think about these have the potential to be kept, you know, into the winter months if they're kept under the correct sort of conditions. And you know, as I look at what I'm growing, it's making me think about the direction, you know, that I want to go with my own sort of gardening projects. And as you know, I'm thinking very much about, you know, expanding on the grape project. But next year I'm probably going to be growing a lot more squashes, because, you know, so far so good. They've been brilliant things to grow, and they look really ornamental. The bees absolutely love the flowers, and you know, they keep into the winter months. So it's just a way of having, you know, your own produce, and it's storing, and it's such an amazing thing being able to sort of just have a good food supply really. You know, like this other one here, look, this is doing well, like that one there. I'm wondering whether I'm going to lose this one just so the plant can focus on this, but I'm still deciding. And the plant has now put down them sort of little pincers, if you will, so the plant has now sort of attached itself to the ground, so it's gaining additional nutrients from the ground. And I mean, this one here, look, is a very nice looking squash, and considering they're coming from these containers, and this has been a very sort of good way of going about, you know, growing squashes in a place where, you know, there's not that much space, if you understand where I'm coming from. So I've got them in these containers amongst the vegetable patch, and very much indeed, you know, a worthwhile thing to do so far. You know, we've got another one of them sort of patty pans that are coming, and these are just brilliant. These runner beans here, looking really, really healthy. Variety best of all, and I got these seeds from Pound Stretcher. So, you know, in keeping with the partial self-sufficiency theme, towards the end of the year, what I'll do, end of the growing season, I will allow, you know, some of the beans to mature. When that happens, the plant will then stop producing new beans, and the seeds will sort of, you know, you can leave them to dry, and whilst they're still in the plant, and then you can harvest the seeds and proceed to grow them the following year. So if you use that sort of procedure, if you get it right, you'll never have to buy runner bean seeds again. And you can also do that with broad beans, French beans, things like that. So yeah, as we sort of, think about walking around, and some of us out there might be a little bit uncomfortable with this warm weather, and to a degree for some people it is, particularly maybe the sort of elderly and people who aren't very well, and there simply are people who just don't seem, or they're not that tolerant to warm weather, just as some aren't that tolerant to cold weather. Everybody is different. But have a walk around if you can. Think, what sort of direction are you going with grow your own efforts? I mean, I've done a lot of thinking of late, and I'm really starting to sort of think of ways that I can go forward, and things are going to be happening soon, and it's taking a lot of time for me to sort of come to the realization that I'm at now. So I hope everybody out there is doing well, and if you're feeling, make sure you keep yourself safe in this warm weather. Make sure you drink the correct amount of fluid, don't overheat, and if you know of anyone who needs a little bit of help and you're able to deliver it, why not, hey? This pomegranate here is absolutely loving this warm weather. This is the sort of thing that really kind of, gets me thinking, like, as long as this survives, in 5 years, I could be harvesting my own UK grown pomegranates. And if we can keep getting this, warm weather, by the time this plant matures, you might have the perfect climate for growing things like that here. And this, Sharon fruit, otherwise known as persimmon, the same applies. I don't know if you're picking up on that, but I really love the beautiful summer breeze when the air is warm, and you can see it and sort of feel it blowing through the plants that you've grown. I get a lot of satisfaction from things like that. Stop now. Yeah, because it's funny sometimes how the seasons sort of affect the way that the way you feel and the way that you do things. I mean, I suppose it's natural, really. When the weather's like this, I really want to be out in the garden, and the fact that I work as a gardener as well, I'm very sort of privileged to be in the position to do what I love. And it makes you just think, like, walking around and looking and thinking, at what to do. It's just an amazing experience, and the warmer weather sometimes it sort of brings that on in me. And I think in the winter months when everything's a bit more docile, things aren't growing, gives you time to sort of plan and think. But when you're in the thick of it, as I call it, this time of year, sometimes there isn't so much of that, and it's all go, go, go. Very interesting stuff, and when one thinks about it, and the sheer power of growing your own gardening, allotmenteering or whatever, it's quite something, I think. So I think this fly up here is thinking it's quite something as well, trying to get out the polytunnel. Okay peeps, so lots to happen here. The project is expanding soon. Hope everybody out there is doing well. Take care, speak soon, and if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. See you next time.